Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, where we start a new season and welcome that new class to the pro
level. Honestly, it's humbling, and I think we're just so...
79 days from the last game, football is back. A lot of kick returns last year. This one will be taken from the end zone, a yard deep by Tyus. It'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. That's where the Carolina, with the Raiders in Las Vegas, had a couple of starts.
Yeah, but a 16-11 overall career record, which is unusual for a guy that's bounced around the way that he has.
First play, fake it to Trevor Etienne, and the throw to the tight end. Jatavian Sanders through a tackle to the 32-yard line. And first gain of about 6 or 7 yards. Talking about Bryce Young, the #1 pick in 2023. They traded up and traded a lot to trade up and get him. And when we watched him as we got ready for this one, you just were impressed the way the season ended for the Panthers and Young.
Yeah, I was. He's not a huge arm guy, but anytime that he has the ability to move around a little bit, I just thought his decision making, his control of the offense just looked so much sharper last year.
Here we go.
After a gain of 6, Pickett back to the air again. One more time, it's Sanders, third-year man out of Texas. And the Cardinals defense rallies to the ball to make the stop, including Kalen King. Sets up third and a few here for Carolina.
And you know, Mike, it's fun to watch Kenny Pickett play the game right now because he has been around so much. He's seen so many different styles of offense now. If you watched him on that play, he probably got to his third read over here early in the season. Guys actually trying to hit him for the first time, and yet very calm there in the pocket.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Here we go. Travis, hush!
Third and a couple. Cardinals bring 4. Pickett tries to step up, and he is slung down and sacked. So the Cardinals get in and stop it right away. Andrew Billings on the inside comes up with a sack. Veteran out of Baylor, who's with the Bears, the Chicago Bears, not the Baylor Bears last year.
Hey, you remember I was telling you about those people who are wanting to hit him, and that's exactly what he got. And really, for Carolina in this game, their top 7 offensive linemen really won't be playing at all. They've got big problems now on the outside. Luckily, they've signed a few players, drafted one, but they're not going to be out here tonight.
Sam Martin is the punter for the Panthers. Good kick of 57 yards. Xavier Weaver brings it in. And returns it just around 23-yard line. Blocked down there. And that is where the Arizona Cardinals will take over. They have Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew as their veterans and will develop their quarterback situation as the night goes on. But it is the official welcome to the NFL moment for Carson Beck, quarterback Miami, to the CFP National Championship game last year after his long run in Athens with Georgia. The third-round pick makes his NFL debut. Van Knight is the back from the 23. First pass, first completion for about 4 yards. Kenny Yeboah, tight end. Chris, your thoughts on Beck, who college football fans saw a ton of with Georgia and the U?
Yeah, he's a pocket passer. There's no doubt about that. He's a little bit like Jacoby Brissett, honestly, and Gardner Minshew would be a little bit more the move-around quarterback for this team. But he is very much in control. A little bit like Bo Nix coming out. He's going to get the ball out of his hands. He's not going to hold it.
And Knight for 3 to the 30-yard line. Will Lee's an important corner we'll watch for the Panthers tonight, was in there on the tackle. There's the veteran. Jacoby Brissett was his own agent and was able to get a 1-year deal with a lot more money than he was supposed to get. He went through one of those hold-in situations to get paid, and he figures to be the Cardinal starter.
You would think, although you also would think they're going to want to take a good long look at some point into Carson Beck this season, because who knows what they'll do in the draft next year.
Going to take off here and dive forward for the first down of the season, just past the 33-yard line. So Carson Beck gets this Cardinal drive go.
Yeah, and we talked about the fact that he is a pocket passer. Pocket passers can be effective runners because they're coming straight ahead. They're not always trying to scramble around to the outside. And you get in those key third down situations, get a quarterback willing to go head first and pick it up. It gets a little juice going.
The running back Knight takes it inside to the 37-yard line. It only took me like 6 plays to make me smile.
What did I do?
Because we're 7 plays into the season, and we're already talking about next year's draft and the Cardinals and quarterbacks.
Did I remind you of the division they're in this season?
Yes, you did, the start.
You know, we'll go through it. We'll go through the offense. There's a path. There's definitely a path, but it is one tough road through that division.
Beck, little boot, throws it back inside. Nice look, incomplete. Rivaldo Fairweather, first year out of Auburn. He was around the Dallas practice squad last year. Takes it to the 42.
And you think of all those big games that Carson Beck has played in at the University of Georgia, then making it through the playoffs and into the national championship game with the Miami Hurricanes last year. It doesn't look like it's too much, right? And he said, he goes, the sound of this offense fits my brain pretty good. I like it.
There's the out quick, and it's broken up. That's Will Lee, rookie out of Texas A&M. He's the 4th-round pick, and the Panthers are looking at adding to a strong secondary. Lee breaks that one up, and the Cardinals will punt.
As if the Carolina Panthers needed more help in the secondary. They have tremendous corners on the back end, and J.C. Horn and Michael Jackson. And now they add Lee, and they are pumped. They're going to try to find a way to get all 3 of those guys on the field at the same time. Maybe even J.C. Horn coming inside and playing some of that slot.
Blake Gilligan, 6th year in the league out of Penn State. Trevor Etienne waiting back deep. Gilligan kicks a whirly bird down there. It's tough to catch, and will be out of bounds at the 3. Fehoko, the wide receiver out of Stanford, let it go. Gilligan's in midseason form as we are underway with the 20-27-yard line. Struggle for Pickett to get it, and Etienne gets beat up quickly by Andrew Billings. Sack earlier, tackle for loss here because of the bad snap.
And Billings is tearing things up right over the nose here, going to break inside and just push the entire pile backwards and stayed on his feet. So most impressive part about this one is the fact that he's getting tripped around the ankles, stays on his feet, and almost got a safety out of it.
He did. He was calling also for the Cardinals sideline to get a look at Zach Carter, who's coming off the field. 5th-year man out of Florida. He's with the Bengals, and the Raiders got tangled as Billings was running through people, so he is coming over to the sideline.
Billings may be looking for an early exit tonight. It's okay, we're good. You're
Make
good.
all these plays.
Come on over here.
Pickett from his own end zone, 2nd and 12. Throw in the middle off the hands and incomplete. Trying to squeeze it to David Moore, veteran wide receiver.
And did you see Andrew Billings that time?
He's back.
There we go. He can do it all, baby. And then right back into coverage and almost got this one. If he'd have picked this one off for a touchdown, he would have left on his own.
Check himself out of the game.
That's been it.
Do the whole NBA thing. He's like, I'm good. 4th-round pick of the Bengals back in 2016. Kenny Pickett, 3rd and a dozen. Back it up just a touch here with a false start. Craig Rolstad is our referee.
False start. Offense, number 76. The penalty's half the distance to the goal. Still 3rd down.
Well, this Panthers team has been beat up early on. It started really last year. Ike Ekwonu got hurt. 1 tackle. Taylor Moton's supposed to be the other tackles, dealing with blood clots. So he's on the non-football injury list. Treshawn Wharton starting on PUP, but then Nick Scorton and Chris Brazel, a wide receiver they were hoping for a lot of out of the draft, both injured in camp and done for the year. Deep shot downfield. Receiver tangles Bryson Tremaine, and a flag.
Boy, what a difference that makes right there, because they would have otherwise had to punt from like the 6-inch line down there, and instead going to get it out around the middle of the field.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13. The ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
Terrell Clark, 4th-year man out of Louisville, and you saw that shot that we had. Bryce Young was over there on the sideline. Sam Martin, the punter, went over. He was the happiest guy because he didn't have to punt.
Did not want any part of that one. Thank you, no.
And J.J. Jansen, the longtime long snapper. Sam Martin, glad to get the towel and rest a little bit longer. penalty, 31 yards, takes him out to the 32. And Trevor Achan will carry inside for a yard or two. He's in his second year out of Georgia as Dave Canales sorts through a running back room where there can be opportunities. Chris, a little bit about Canales, who long time with Pete Carroll in Seattle and really has brought a great attitude and energy to Charlotte.
If you think of the Carolina Panthers, just think of Pete Carroll and Seattle, and you're going to have a pretty good idea of what they want to do, what they want to be. They all have stories. They all have ways of doing things that all come back to Pete Carroll.
Pickett, Chen crossing, flag down. He's going to be brought down after the loss of a yard or two. Keaton Crawford made the play on defense. And we'll see what Rolstad and company have. It's a hold.
Holding offense number 76. That penalty's decline. Result of the play is third down.
Albert Reese, Chris, you talked about the tackle position. Because of those two injuries we talked about, they're going to have to find some folks to play that position.
They really are, and Monroe Freeling, who's the draft pick, really terrific player, but much more of a run blocking kind of guy. And so without Taylor Moton, who was one of their best players on this offense, people are really going to challenge that right side of this offensive line.
3rd and 9. Pickett scans. He's got the tight end Sanders, who was hit by Clark. Second time he's been involved in a tackle. It's short of the first down, and the Panthers will kick it away.
And I know this isn't a real game, and maybe it doesn't matter. It matters to that guy. It's his first game.
Yes.
So Michael LaFleur's out there, way to go. But that was a big deal for this Carolina offense to get it off of that 6-inch line, right? In football, sometimes the plays that just get you out to a better position, flip the field, punt the football, it's a big deal. It's not tonight.
Every play matters, right? Martin's got the space to kick it away. And it's a good one. And Weaver will let it go. Batted, kept alive by the Panthers special teams. All those hustle opportunities are watched. They're going to get the ball at the 3-yard line. So instead of being at their own 1, it's 96 yards down the other end. Great hustle by Lathan Ransom to keep it out of the end zone.
I tell you what, I watched a lot of flag football this offseason. I like watching the women. I like watching the men. It's exciting.
Fun, isn't it?
It really is.
Goes quick.
Yeah, the games go like that. They do. They actually do.
We'll see flag football in the LA Olympics coming up in a couple of summers, 2028. Movement by the Cardinals, and this will back them up.
False start. Offense number 48. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Kenny Yeboah, coordinator against coordinator matchup tonight, has a little bit of extra intrigue, Chris.
They do. They were roommates in college. They're best man at each other's wedding, godfather to their kids, and known them since 18 years old. You can see those two guys. And, of course, they're going against each other here. So they were talking a few times during the course of the week, and you know, who knows how that goes in the Hall of Fame game. You may actually say, all right, now don't you do this, and I won't do that. And, you know, because I think really the goal for both of these guys is to come out here and just try to analyze what these young players are. So they don't want a lot of scheme stuff, right? They just want one-on-ones. They want to see, can you block him? Can you get open against him? Can you cover that guy? And that's the goal for so many. And so those guys may have schemed up one or two little ways of doing that.
Pedro Evero for the Panthers, Nathaniel Hackett for the Cardinals. The plays being called by the head coach, Mike LaFleur, on the Arizona sideline. This Carolina defense a year ago, boy, it got better, and it had to. They had the worst defense in football. Awful stuff in 2024.
Corners, you have a chance.
3rd and 7 here for Carson Beck. Shot down the field, brought in to the 41-yard line. Dalen Brooks with the grab and a first down for Arizona.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that double move action going up here, a little wiggle to the outside and then straight up. And a lot of times when you're in that early part of your career that Will Lee is, you take the cheese, and he certainly did on that one and got the mousetrap.
And there's an Arizona Cardinal receiver who approves. The Arizona Cardinal receiver. Larry Fitzgerald going in the hall. First down, boot, the throw is complete to the 46-yard line. That time for Xavier Weaver in his second year out of Colorado. Started his college career at South Florida.
If Larry Fitzgerald had time, he'd already be mayor, governor, working his way to president.
CEO.
That guy, he's in more things than anybody I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. He doesn't even care if anybody remembers him as a football player after this weekend, but he's got a lot going on.
And Knight, good move for Knight to take it to the 45-yard line of the Panthers and a first down. So a nice push to this drive for Arizona, which started back at their own 4.
Yeah, good little cutback here on this run. And, you know, Mike, it's really interesting. Everybody looks at the running backs that Arizona has, and they really, you think, all right, well, we know, right, Jeremiah Love and we know Tyler Algier are going to be there. But it's a very real possibility that Bam Knight, who is a special team star, is the number 3 back. And so then you've got questions about those other guys.
Gets his feet set, slings it out complete. Jamison Gers, the tight end, rookie out of Minnesota, catches it to the 41-yard line of the Panthers. You mentioned Jeremiah Love, 3rd in the Heisman voting, the 3rd overall pick, and Chris Good in all 3 phases of the game. Great player out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, he was not happy about sitting there tonight either. He was wanting to get out and play. But some of the most exciting plays we saw in college football a season ago, just absolutely amazing. You know, gets up, runs in for a touchdown, and nobody can catch him when he gets in the open field.
Nice throw by Beck. This is complete to the 25-yard line. One more time to Jalen Brooks, former Cowboy.
How about that? Now, you know, Carson Beck is just standing right in there, and this is a covered receiver, and he felt comfortable enough to just say, hey, we're on a roll here. Remember, they're coming off their own goal line, and when you talk to Carson Beck, he is that cool, right? He is. He's been through a lot.
Knight. Zonovan is Bam's first name, gains 3 there. And you say that, Chris, if you know, as I mentioned, watching college football, the Carson Beck story was at the University of Georgia. He backed up Stetson Bennett for those national championship seasons, then had 2 really good years, gets hurt late in that last season, doesn't play in the college football playoff game. But look at all those starts. That's at Georgia, and as we know, the SEC reminds us, it means more. All the games are tough games. So 24-3 at Georgia, that's as real as it gets.
And what has he turned 24 this year? I mean, he's been around a little bit. This is a guy that has some experience. He doesn't look like some 21-year-old coming out of college.
2nd and 7. Fires it out complete to Rivaldo Fairweather. Yard shy of the first down, the 16-yard line.
Hey, I like that one. Did you see that throw? A little sidearm whip out there. Check this one. Coming right at you, I think. Yeah, there we go. You know, he's just kind of having fun out there. And you know,
Don't start. Let's just get to the second quarter. Come on, don't throw out a quarterback controversy. Just let's get through 15 minutes. 30-yard, Knight's got it. He's got a couple more to the 13-yard line. But we always talk about, okay, how do guys project from college to the pros? When you play at Georgia, you play at Miami, you play in playoff games, you've gone against really good players. And then there's the whole eye test. Like, he walks out here in his first quarter, he looks like he's an NFL quarterback.
Let me tell you, the eye test is what the guys on the sideline down there and in that huddle are looking at him. Because if they believe, then things start to happen. Now, you want to make me really believe? Score a touchdown down here in the red zone. This is where it gets really tough in the NFL. And I guarantee you they haven't probably practiced it at all yet.
Corey Kaner is the back. He'll take it down close to the 8-yard line as we hit the final minute of this first quarter. We mentioned Gardner Minshew is the other quarterback behind Jacoby Brissett. And Beck was the 3rd quarterback drafted. Of course, Fernando Mendoza, the 1st overall pick with the Raiders, and then Ty Simpson out of Alabama went to the Rams, and then no other quarterback taken in the 1st round, none in the 2nd round. So you got Beck at pick 65 in the 3rd.
It's going to be a tired defense. That's been a long drive already.
Beck right to the goal line, and just short. It'll be marked at the 1-yard line as Kiner brought it in. And we'll set up 1st and goal for the Cardinals when the 2nd quarter begins.
Love that throw. Down low, right at the goal line. No chance it got tipped up in the air. Nicely done.
In traffic, middle of the pocket.
Protect your receiver, not let him take that massive hit.
All right, so we'll go to the other end of the field after 1 quarter. No score. Glad to have you with us to start the season at the Hall of Fame. You're watching the NFL Hall of Fame game, presented by Novartis.